Good morning, everybody. It's Teepa and Matthew. And this morning, during our time, I want to bring up a topic I know we've talked about before, but it always bears sort of reinvestigating when you get questions or you get comments or people say things like, well, she just won't even try, or he thinks he's fine, but I'm going to tell you, or like, she knows better than that. I don't know why she's, like, why is she do? I mean, if I've told her once, I've told her, it's like, she just won't admit she has dementia. And it's like, huh, okay. So, what I want to talk about is this thing called anosognosia. Anosognosia, it's a term, it's actually a symptom, and it's a symptom of brain failure or brain lack of development in the prefrontal cortex. And what it means is I do not know that my abilities do not match the situation I'm in. So I think I'm fine. I think I'm okay. I think I have the abilities that are needed. I don't recognize changes. I don't realize that I am capable of doing something or I'm not capable, because it can go either way. Anosognosia means I am not self-aware. And it could be in dementia, the most common thing is I've lost self awareness. So if there's an issue, it couldn't possibly be me because I am quite capable of driving a motor vehicle. I've driven cars for years, I've never had an accident. Now, when we combine that with recent memory impairment, I don't remember the three fender benders I've had. And it's super tempting when I say, Matthew, I'm a good driver. What do you mean I can't drive? I have never even had an accident.
But you know what? Don't you remember you ran into those three people though when you were
What
driving?
three people are you talking about? I have well, now, wait a minute. You're talking about at the parking lot what that person did?
Well, mom, not just the parking lot, but there were two other people. There was the one at the stoplight, and then there
Well,
was the
those
one that.
neither. And when was the other one? When was the other one?
The other one was when you were going to the doctor, and you
Well,
literally.
none of those were my fault. That is called I tried to avoid the issue. These people pull out, they don't look. I was backing up in the parking lot, and that person like and he hit the tail end of my car. And I'm going to tell you something. I mean, I said at the time, I was already coming out when he decided to go really, really, really fast down the thing, down the way it goes.
See, mom, this is what we're talking about. This is the
No, this
problem
is
we're
not what we're
talking
talking
about.
about. This is not fair. Okay, so I'm going to pause. And where it's pretty clear, if you know the term and you understand it, um, you can appreciate that I have anosognosia. I mean, I'm not aware that my abilities, and so my brain keeps giving me reasons. I'm not actually doing this, by the way. My brain is doing this to protect me. So it's using what it does remember, and it remembers some of what happened. It's not like I may or may not have a memory of something, but I can't hang on to the details of it. Or like if you showed me the report where I started backing out as the guy, like I would go, well, that's it. That's not fair. That guy just wrote that. I mean, and when that's happening, no matter what you present to me, my brain is coming up with a rationale. And it could be illogical, it might be logical. At that moment, what Matthew's doing is also symptom of anosognosia. He has an inability to recognize his ability to cope with my changes. He doesn't have the skill set he thinks he has. He thinks I'm in denial. He thinks that I am not paying attention. He thinks he can use words and language. But what did you notice, Matthew, about my language when I got more flustered?
Yeah, it was harder for you to come up with the detail or the name of the thing or whatever to give more of that. And Chipa, I'm wondering too here, this piece as we get into it, that idea too of where my unawareness of what's happening and
Mhm.
everything else, and my approach to you, how much more this starts to lead me towards, because of what you're saying, the way you're doing me towards, well, this, see, she manipulates, see this, she does these things to manipulate, she does these things on purpose.
She knows. I mean, listen to what she's saying. She's saying everybody else is, I mean, she knows full well. And so this really, what it speaks to is both of us are experiencing dementia, but both of us are not skilled in this moment at sustaining our relationship in a healthy way. We're really struggling with one another. And we're struggling with the world around us because Matthew is super frustrated right now because I will demand to drive. I don't see anything wrong. And even if you were to have the doctor take away my license, I might be tempted to drive because I am experiencing anosognosia. Now, and again, it is not me. Now, I might have been manipulative before. I mean, you have to judge that for yourself. I might not have had great insight before. I might have been a carpenter who always blamed their tools, or I might not. I might have been insightful before. I might have been able to go, wow, I'm having trouble noticing things to the right. That is what I'm noticing because like this car, and honestly, I didn't even see him until like we were just about to make impact, and I slammed on the brakes, and the eggs fell, and like the whole thing was a mess. Does that sound different?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds different in some ways. It's not the same frequency, intensity, and volume, but it's still that awareness of, oh, my skills are potentially at a point, and not recognizing that my skills are at a point that the reason why I miss these things is because the changes that are
Right.
happening.
I may not know it's my dementia, but I do know I'm changing and I'm having trouble. So that's really a point at which you can go, oh, so we have now Matthew has to have awareness of this. But again, if he's unaware, well, mom, that's because you've got dementia. I have dementia? Well, when did I get dementia? Because that is a memory issue that's separate. And again, it's appearing very differently, and how I'm appearing and how we're interacting can be very different. Um, with total awareness, I could say, Matthew, I'm not sure I should be driving anymore. I mean, it hurts. It hurts a lot. But I mean, I've had a couple of close calls and I just don't think it's worth it anymore. The risk of me hurting someone or hurting the car or hurting, just causing harm. I just don't think I should drive anymore. Okay. But let's say I'm actually driving just fine. There are no incidences, but in this case, I'm giving something up. And it's like, now, if my next statement is, you're just going to have to drive for me. I know I feel real bad about it, but I just don't feel comfortable going out of the house without somebody with me. Now, I might get lost, they said. So, you know what? I'm going to need somebody with me. I need you to be here every time I need to go out.
Mom, I know, Mom, I'm sorry that you're feeling that way. You're just fine, Mom.
No, I'm
You
not
drive
fine.
just
You don't
fine.
understand. What if I were to get lost? I don't feel that that's okay. I wish you would not treat me like you don't care.
Mom, we talked about this before. You're fine, and I don't have the time. I can't. We were
So
busy with the
I
kids.
had the time when you were young, but now you don't have the time for me.
See, Mom, why do you pull that out every time? You make me
I'm
feel
not
so
pulling
bad.
it out. I'm just saying. I don't understand. I can't do wink like I used to. And you know that I can't figure out things like I could. And I just don't think I should be in charge of things anymore. I need you to take over things.
What
Okay,
about your
pause.
friend Melanie?
Because people think, well, that'd be great. And it's like, no, I just dumped a whole bunch of mashed potatoes all over the place. They aren't even on the plate. Um, and the reason I might be doing that is I have a sense that I'm incompetent. I'm incompetent and so my brain goes at everything. It whispers to me, you're incompetent at everything. You better get your son in here. And so I start believing that I can't do things. I can't do that. I can't do this. I can't be on a committee. I can't read a book and be at the book club. And so I want to withdraw, withdraw, withdraw. And so when we see people withdrawing a lot, we tend to think depression, but it could be that I'm not really aware of my abilities. So if you check out depression and and it's not really coming up as depression, we've got to be thoughtful about this because anosognosia is this very tricky piece that I will be honest, there are many professionals out there that go, oh, yeah, she has anosognosia. That's not like a minor thing. This should set the tone for the entire pattern of care because we now have to plan care for someone who does not have awareness of change, which is real different than planning awareness for somebody who has some awareness of change, which is real different than somebody who's giving up everything on the other end of anosognosia and becoming totally couch potato. If I've never been that way before. So what do we do? Well, first of all, who has to become more aware, if possible?
Yeah. In this case, because I'm the one supporting it, would be me. I would need to become more aware about what's happening here.
And yourself.
And myself, yeah.
Yeah. And,
And
so
other
one of the
people.
first, yeah. So one of the first awareness pieces is I'm going to need help.
Yeah.
I need some skill development. I need some knowledge. I need greater awareness because with this thing, what we've done before is not going to serve us well because it's not denial. I mean, we can all be in denial. It's a protective mechanism. This is not denial because it's not like I come to awareness. I don't come to awareness. I still don't understand why I can't drive. It's like, oh my Lord, what
So
part of you don't have a rear view mirror anymore, Mom? Are you not getting? It's like, well, that's not my fault. I mean, if the car wasn't so big and the garage wasn't so tight, Mom, you have like 2 feet on that side. You just weren't paying attention. I do too pay attention. So Matthew, at that moment.
yeah. And Teepa, so this makes me really curious because this brings my thought to Care Partner Support Series. And how does the Care Partner Support Series support me in this moment? If I was to go and do the Care Partner Support Series, what would I get out of that would help me be like, oh my gosh, and start to come to that better sense of anosognosia awareness from your perspective, but also from mine?
From yours. And well, one of the start places is awareness of brain function. What parts of the brain am I losing? What parts are still working? What new abilities am I developing? What abilities are shifting for me? So, let's pause because what happens in Care Partner Support Series, shared experiences, but also a lot of knowledge and awareness, the video clips that we show, the discussions that we have. We talk about alternatives. So when I say, I don't understand why I can't drive, your first response is, wow. So, Mom, you're not getting why we don't want you driving, why the doctor said no driving. Well, yeah, I mean, why not? I'm fine. So you feel fine, and it feels like other people are pushing back on you. Yeah. So, Mom, tell me a little bit about the car and the garage. Because what I'm trying to do is stay incredibly curious. And that, more than anything, is what Care Partner Support Series helps people be curious. Because until I figure some things out, I can't move forward until I get a better understanding of myself, my mom, the situation, my options. I'm stuck. I'm stuck in this negative spiraling cycle of I don't like. She's not even, and instead we pause and we're not pushing against one another. I'm starting to look at the situation differently and I'm coming into support mode versus adversarial mode of trying to get her to do something she doesn't understand why I want her to do it.
Helping us to get away from that reticular activating system.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in that cycle of negativity.
Yeah.
And back into a place of curiosity. So that being a big piece we could get from that Care Partner Support Series, as well as the understanding of what's happening in the brain, how it's changing, what's happening to the skills and the ability.
But if you're not that kind of person, you don't want to do a support series. Okay, fine. Then get understanding the changing brain. That'll at least get you to go in the right direction. We even have a section devoted to anosognosia. Why? Because this comes up so often and it's so poorly appreciated. And I mean by the medical community too, because they will identify people as non-compliant.
Oh, yeah.
non-compliant or, like she needs medication, maybe, but are you sure that you're treating the right thing in the right way, or are you just throwing something at it because you don't know what else to do?
Yeah. Failure to thrive. I could see on the second example you gave us, I can't do this, I can't do that, I don't want to do anything. Failure to thrive being another one that's thrown out there in that moment.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is just treat her with drugs. And it's like treating me with drugs alone. We've talked before. If you're going to treat something, you've got to first start with awareness and knowledge, and then look at what she's going to do differently, what you're going to do differently, what it is, how you're going to use that time, but also what else is going on that you might need. What do you need to, how do you need to use words? How do you need to talk about this? How do you need to offer support in a way that's going to move the needle? Because it must be done with permission, or it's abuse or neglect. And, there's no way around it. So we've got to figure out this permission thing instead of trying to make it different. I can't fix anosognosia. I really can't. But what we can start to do is create a care plan with it in mind. And it means it won't be the care plan I had in mind before I started because I'm not going to get what I want.
Yeah.
And neither is my partner, but we've got to figure out how to compromise
Hmm.
in a way that causes least harm, most benefit. And that, oof, it will be something you'll need support for pretty much as long as there's anosognosia. And you'll need a place to dump the grief. You'll need a place to dump the frustration. You'll need a space, a place, a person, a situation that allows you to go, but if, and it's like, yeah, let's talk about that for a few minutes and let's say, and what is?
Yeah.
Because you got to be able to let go of what you can't have to be able to work on what is possible.
Mm.
All right, everybody. I've kept you longer than I meant to, but for me, I see time and time again without addressing anosognosia, for all of us, we're all missing the mark. And the person who often struggles the most might be the person living with dementia, might be the care partner, or it might be the professional who simply cannot figure out how to help. And there's not always a great answer. There might be one we can live with. Till next time, if you have a question and you need support, if you could use some discussion further about this, or you really want to find out those resources, check it out, talk with our folks. People are happy to share what they can and get you started. Till next time, take care with your care and take care of yourselves. Bye all.
Thank you, Teepa. Bye, everybody.